Hello, collective. Welcome and welcome back. We're going to get into another reading to see what you need to know. All right. The sun has come out. It's shining. All right. You guys could be shining. Anyway, thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. As always, to like and subscribe. Like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe, you guys. We're just going to figure out what you may need to know in the situation that you might be dealing with or coming to this reading for. But remember, please use your own intuition. Do not bring anything into your life that does not belong. Okay? That would not be wise. Yeah, if you want to book a personal, the link is below. All right? So let's see. Guardian angels. Ooh. Archangels, spirit guides, and ancestors of the highest vibration. Father, Mother, God, for the collective. Let's see what you guys need to know at this time, Spirit. What is the message that you want to get to the collective at this time in regards to who they're dealing with, what they're dealing with, and the situation that you feel is most important for them to know at this time, okay? Ooh, we have lust, and it's in reverse. The deck is upright. Apathy at the bottom and vindictive. Okay. You may not be attracted to somebody because they may have an energy that you feel is negative, vindictive. You may feel like they're somebody who would, yes, you may feel like there's someone who, like the type of person who would throw something back in your face later. Okay. This could also be somebody who's upset because you're not attracted to them. You don't want to sleep with them. Okay. I'm not as tough as I act and power hungry. So that just popped out on me. I'm not as tough as I act and power hungry. We're going to put that to the side. Yeah. The Dark Knight of the Soul, the Dark Knight Oracle deck. That's one of the decks that we're using. That's this one right here. Okay. The other one is the Shadow Side Oracle. Okay. Violent. Yeah, so somebody acts tough. I'm not as tough as I act, power hungry. So in order to get what they want, in order for whoever this person is to have power in a situation or in different situations that they deal with people, they act very vindictive. They act very violent, okay? Because the violent card and then rage. Somebody could really have an anger problem. And the other title card is here too. So it's one title card, rage, the other title card, and then violent at the back of the deck. Somebody is known for this. It's like their reputation. They're known for being violent, power hungry. The only love I know is conditional after violent. Somebody may want to sleep with you or I don't know. It's like even if it's not sexual, it could be something very like selfish going on. What else does the collective need to know? My life is falling apart, but it came out in reverse. This could be somebody who doesn't want you to know that they're going through some hard times. We have lazy, and I don't want to feel this connection. Okay. One more card. Greed. So this is a person whose actions have now come back to kind of bite them. They've been they have rage. They have issues with anger, rage. They're very vindictive, petty. It feels like petty. Feels like this person is, when they don't get their way or when they don't get what they want, they act in a very vindictive, conniving, underhanded type of way because they didn't get what they wanted. We have selfishness. Yeah, and I said selfish. And then we have lazy again. Okay. So this person wants everything but doesn't want to work for it or earn it. all of these cards that came out are in reverse, and we have lust, we have greed, and then we have my life is falling apart. They all came out in reverse, which tells me that either this person doesn't want people to know that this is how they are, or this is what their life consists of, and they try to hide that, or these are things that have literally caused their life to fall apart, and now they're trying to put their life back together. And these are the reasons why their life fell apart, because they had a lot of greed. They were very lustful, and they may be violent or angry. They may get violent or get angry when they don't get their way. Selfish. It's all about them. I kind of want to do another oracle real quick, just to get more information on that. So why this is coming out, what else does the collective need to know? I don't know. It kind of looks like this could be somebody coming into your life and you don't know them very well, and you need to be aware of this so that so that your life doesn't fall apart, or this is something that you need to know about somebody who's around you and how they really are. But I feel like your intuition would already kind of be telling you this. What else does the collective need to know? Chained, codependency, unhealthy attachment, weighed down. What else? Lift off, fast. See, that's what I'm saying. Fast action, progression forward. The wait is over. So you're being uplifted. You're being unchained or broken free of chains. The chains are being broken. You're being set free from something or someone that's been weighing you down so that your life does not fall apart. I feel like you're no longer attracted to someone, and they may get angry because you don't want to sleep with them, or you just don't want to be around them. This could also be someone coming towards you who has a partner or spouse who they're attached to, but this person is not attracted to them. Like, they're not getting any at home, so they may be sniffing around trying to get something from you, and you're about to take off somehow in life, and your spirit is like, hey, you need to know what type of person this is so you don't mess up your life dealing with them. It definitely feels kind of like a warning. One more card. Ooh, it flipped out face down. Lucky break. Good fortune, good things coming, turning point. Period. You see? I knew I needed to get some more oracle cards, because do you see what I mean? I feel like you release some type of attachment that you had on like surface level things. Like, you could have decentered relationships, decentered like some type of bad spending habits that you had. You maybe were saving money. It feels like you were kind of like doing things to turn your life around, because you wanted a better like reality. You wanted a better outcome, right? That's what a lot of us want. We just want things to go well in our life. We want to have the things that we need, and maybe a few things we want, or you may have big dreams, big goals, whatever they may be. But it's like, it feels like you did the work to get yourself in a better place mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, physically. And then there's somebody here who doesn't want to do the work, but they know the things that have hindered them. They know what's been holding them back, and they are aware that the lust or the greed or the rage or the anger has been a problem. But it's like, hey, you're not supposed to do the work as the collective for other people. They have to do their own work. Wine and dine is at the bottom. It says courtship, consistently dating, romance, and passion. And then sipping, nosy, spreading rumors, and gossiping. So somebody may see you as their lucky break. Somebody could see you as a platform or a way to take off in life, or have something go well for them in life. You may hear some rumors about this person, or this person has a reputation. Yeah. So let's see. Why is this message? Let me shuffle this deck real good. Real good. Y'all be sure to like the video, you guys. Let's keep the energy flow going. That's how we can keep the flow of energy going, okay? Because I don't want you to necessarily watch this video and think negative things or anything negative could be happening. I don't think anything negative is happening. I just feel like you're kind of being warned. So, why is this coming out for the collective? The Three of Wands and the Three of Swords. So, March could be significant with the threes, Aries, Pisces. And then also there possibly could be a Libra in there, or Libra energy with the Three of Swords. Ooh. Maybe Aquarius. Not really, though. Yeah, I feel like the reason why this is coming out, though, is because Spirit is trying to help you anticipate something painful or hurtful that could happen in your life. I feel like your spirit team is trying to get you to avoid a person, because it's like they're expected to cause you pain. Queen of Wands, Six of Pentacles, a very giving person, a very attractive person with the Queen of Wands. You could be very attractive. You could be somebody who's very philanthropic. You give to charity. You may, do charity work of some kind. I also feel like you're about to receive something. You're expected to receive something in the near future that puts you in a more stable position, but it's because you've worked hard. Okay. And it feels like somebody's kind of coming in and they could potentially destroy what you've built. What's the Three of Wands and the Three of Swords? What's the Three of Wands and the Three of Swords? The King of Swords. But the way he came out was real raggedy, okay? Yeah, maybe Libra, I feel. The World. You could be ending something with this King of Swords. And then the Ace of Wands. Yeah, so the ending and the new beginning is here. The Ace of Cups is underneath the World card. Yeah, Eight of Swords, Five of Wands, Ace of Cups, World. It's like something comes to an end and you're like, thank God. You know what I mean? And then the drama is right behind that. It's like some type of drama comes to an end with the Ace of Cups. It's like you could feel that something is finally done, or you have this closure. Somebody is going to lie to you. It's like they're waiting for an opportunity to tell you something that I feel like is a lie. What's this King of Swords and the Three of Swords? Ooh. Page of Cups. Empress, and the Emperor is behind the Empress. And then the Seven of Pentacles. Somebody could have lied about having a child. Somebody could have lied about children. Like, I don't know, maybe you meet this person and they say that they don't have kids, but they actually do have a kid. Or this could be somebody who you already know or have some type of affiliation with, and they have a child that you didn't know about. I mean, they could tell you. They could be like, oh, like, I had a kid. Maybe you talked to them before, they didn't have a kid, now they got a kid. Or this is somebody who you're meeting and they're not really telling you that they have like a child, or that somebody is pregnant or something like that. This could also be a person who, like, they may have this way about them where they cause a blockage in like your flow. They disrupt your schedule. They may cause a blockage when it comes to like creativity. What's the Three of Swords and the King of Swords? Three of Swords and the King of Swords. Ooh, see? And this Five of Wands came out with the Eight of Swords. They were both together when I was looking at the Ace of Cups, and I picked up the Five of Wands and showed it to y'all. Both of these cards were together because the Eight of Swords was underneath the Five of Wands. So this is about somebody having worry. So it's like a group of people are nervous or scared, or I feel like somebody has just been trying to put you in your head for a long time. There's conflict surrounding some type of it feels like a situation involving a child, to be honest with you. Like, you could be the child. This could be talking about your mother, your father, because we saw the Emperor and the Empress. I feel like somebody is going to give you bad news, or they're going to tell you something that you didn't know that may cause you to feel some type of pain, disappointment, maybe even anger. Ooh, that should be scaring me, y'all. It could even be like anger. This could be fighting and conflicts back and forth, arguing. But it's like whoever's arguing or whoever's having a problem, they don't realize that the house is on fire. In the card, like, they don't realize that all of this is bubbling over and literally burning the floor. They don't feel that, you know. So I'm getting this vibe where something got out of control or got out of hand. Maybe an argument or a fight got out of control. Two of Wands and the King of Wands. Somebody could be arguing with their baby mom, baby dad. I just feel like this is what someone is telling you. What's the King of Swords by themselves? Nine of Cups. Ooh. Ooh. 10 of Swords. And the Three of Pentacles. Somebody betraying you, or somebody causing some type of yeah, and there's the Ace of Wands. It's like somebody tried to stop you from getting what you wanted in a situation, because you shifted your focus. You started focusing on something different. You started prioritizing something different. Or prioritizing yourself, prioritizing your career, prioritizing a new relationship. And all of a sudden, whatever this new beginning was that you shifted your focus to, that I feel like you were very passionate about or inspired to and motivated to pursue, somebody came in with this 10 of Swords and tried to kind of like stop it in its tracks, or stop it before it got started. But then that led to the Nine of Cups and the Three of Pentacles. So it kind of feels like someone was being used by the universe, God, source, spirit, whoever, to kind of like lead you on the right path. There's another, ooh, my bad. There's another 3 with the Three of Pentacles. I feel like there's this creative with the Page of Cups. It kind of feels like there's these creative ideas that you had, or these, like, you know, light bulb moments of inspiration that you had because of whatever you were going through. And that's how I feel like somebody betraying you, or like trying to cause a conflict with you achieving a goal, is kind of like working out in your favor. Like, the more you were in your head, the more the ideas began to flow. I also feel like somebody knew that you were the one who was capable of doing the work, because in that Three of Pentacles, it's a card where one person's work stands out more than the other two people, and the other two people's work is kind of shoddy, and it's not really up to par to match with the person who's actually qualified. I feel like this is a group of people. Maybe this is a friend group, or maybe even your family members. It kind of feels like somebody wanted to ride off your coattails, ride off of what you had going on attached to you, but it's like you're taking off because you're not interested in the same things that they're interested in, or you're not attracted to them, or you know, have decentered whatever it is that they center in their life. Like, so if somebody's priorities are to be in a relationship, get married, have kids, you may be decentering yourself from that friendship or from those people because you want to focus more on your career. It doesn't necessarily mean it's something bad. It just means that you don't align with the people who you were in association with, per se, right? It doesn't mean that you are a bad person or they're a bad person. It just means that you have different priorities. Your heads are in two different places. And I feel like you made a decision to stand your ground, you know, take a stand, pick a side. You picked it, decide what you were going to do and do it. And I feel like these people are worried because you're the one who has like the creative abilities. So it's like if somebody didn't want you to break away from the group or break away from the team, they were trying to make you kind of like scared or worried or fearful about like going off on your own, doing things by yourself, all of that type of stuff. What's the collective's energy in the situation? Lord, the cards just popped out. The moon and the starverse. So you could be a Cancer, an Aquarius, possibly a Leo for some of you guys, the way I read the cards. But your energy is like, you could be feeling down. You may be feeling a little depressed. You could be feeling confused because you don't have all the information. You may be a little fearful, distracted. I feel like you guys could be distracted because there's so much that you don't know, or there's so much that you don't see, or there's so much underneath the surface that you're trying to kind of like figure out. I feel like you guys want to heal, or you need to heal, or you're doing something in silence, in peace, away from other people. Ooh, excuse me. This also could be a lack of inspiration, feeling uninspired. But I feel like that's because people around you were kind of like trying to manipulate situations or change situations to change like your perspective on something. We have the 10 of Pentacles and the 7 of Pentacles. So you invested probably a lot of years, either in a relationship, or maybe you invested a lot of money in a home. You put a lot of money into some type of endeavor that you were a part of. This feels like a work business type of thing, because 10 minus 7 is 3. And that goes back to that 3 of Pentacles. Somebody did not want you to get what you wanted. Somebody definitely did not want you to get what you wanted. This could be family, people who are it's like people who are competing with you, and they're worried because you're the creative one, or you're the one that has like this ability to pull ideas from your core. You can just pull ideas out of thin air. And I feel like they can't really do that. You feel like there's no hope in a situation. So you're starting to do all of your work behind the scenes or in secret. That's why I feel like the star is reversed with the moon. It's like your energy is like, I put so much into this. I invested so much time. I invested so much energy. You may have even invested a lot of money into a person or a situation, a project. And it's like, it's not going anywhere. Where is it going? What is it? Like, what do I have to show for all of this time that I've spent on this? It's like you feel like you don't have anything to show for it, but you constantly showed up. This could even just be talking about like you showing up for other people. This could also be a situation where somebody's hiding a lot of money from you and you just feel like hopeless about it. Like, and I'm not saying that it's making you feel hopeless about yourself. This kind of feels separate from you. It kind of feels like you're not focusing on what you can't see. You're not focusing on what you don't know. You're not focusing on what you don't have. You're more so focusing on what you can see, what's tangible, what you can taste, touch, feel, smell, all those types of things. You're not focusing on the abstract what ifs, what somebody's hiding from you, what they're doing. That's not what this is about. It's more so about you wanting to move forward in your life, take off, in the right direction. I feel like that's what Spirit is saying. I feel like Spirit is also saying your life is not ruined by something. You are about to have a big break because you weren't greedy. You weren't selfish. You didn't do something for the wrong reasons. You're getting lucky, so to speak. It's not really lucky. It's more so good fortune, because the card says good fortune, good things coming, and a turning point. So it kind of feels like the way you've been experiencing life, or the way this situation has been affecting you, specifically with something that could be involved with financial lack, is turning around. That's what it feels like. Because you weren't focused on money. You weren't doing some type of work for the wrong reasons. You didn't want power. You didn't necessarily want clout. I feel like you wanted to be recognized and compensated for the work that you were doing, but you weren't doing it to like be famous or blow up or whatever the other people in the situation were doing it for. It's like there were people doing whatever this is for the wrong reason, or they wanted to be your friend for the wrong reason, or they wanted to date you for the wrong reason. Somebody was in a career that they weren't matched with and it was for the wrong reason, but you were in it actually because you felt called to do it. It's kind of like a teacher. I'm getting an image of a teacher who really loves children and wants to help child development. Like they want to help children with child development. They want, to be a part of the village and help raise kids and teach kids because they enjoy nurturing children and helping them grow. But then there's like a person who's another teacher across the hall from you that constantly wants to be teacher of the month, and they constantly want to be the head of all the organizations and get the attention and be in charge of everybody and boss people around. Like that's the only reason why they got into it. So I feel like a lot of those things are falling apart where, people who were competing with you guys, or people who were possibly causing issues with you being fulfilled or feeling happy in your particular line of business, are being removed because they're not in it for the right reason, and they can no longer like hide behind the guise of whatever they were hiding. Like they can't wear the mask anymore. What's the moon and the star reverse? Thank you. The 7 of Pentacles. That's all it is. You're making an investment. You've already made a solid investment. I would say the last 7 months, 7 to 10 months, 7 to 10 years, you made a large investment in something. You've planted a lot of seeds. It feels like you've planted seeds all over the place. I feel like you could also be balancing 2 jobs, 2 careers. It's like you planted these seeds in the past that didn't really yield a good fruit, and that's the 5 of Pentacles behind you. But then there's these 2 Pentacles that you're kind of nurturing on this tree that will supplement whatever it is that you did not receive from this situation. Like whatever's lacking that you put in the past, or whatever you felt like created lack in your life. You didn't get a return on your investment. You didn't get what you feel like you deserved. You weren't treated in a way that exemplified like what you felt you deserved to be treated. You're kind of like putting that behind you, and you're focusing on the new crops that are blossoming and budding from the seeds that you've planted. 3 of Cups and the Ace of Cups. So this could also be rejection. There's definitely a group of people here. I feel like there's a group of people here, a community. I don't know what this group is, but it's a relationship that you have with a community, a group of people, or like family members. This could even be like family worried about your child. Like, it could be a custody thing, but I don't really necessarily get that. We saw the 10 of Pentacles. So I feel like people thought that they would be included in something that you're doing, but you're not including them. Or people thought that you would involve yourself in what they were doing, but you don't want to be involved. Ooh. What's the 7 of Pentacles? The 9 of Wands and the Page of Wands. Yeah, because you got confirmation that they were coming at you. Hangman and the Six of Cups. Yeah. I feel like you realized that somebody was coming at you and you were waiting until you had confirmation. You just kind of sat there. It's like you were in the middle of a room. I'm seeing you in the middle of a room around a bunch of people, and all these people have something to do with like what you were involved in or what you were connected to, or they all knew about what you were trying to build. And you just kind of sat there like this, in your hands in your lap, and you were just listening. It's kind of like you were invisible in the room, but you weren't invisible in the room, because what I feel is that you kind of just sat there, okay, with this hangman energy. You see what I'm saying? And you kind of just observed what you heard. Eyes closed, observing what you heard. Maybe you went in meditation and did this. And it's like, I just hear these people chattering around me, and you were just listening to all the chatter. And it's like, this is a metaphor for you kind of being in connections with people, but not jumping to conclusions, waiting until you got the signs that you needed, that spirit was showing you about whether or not they were for you or against you. I know I just did a reading about this, but this kind of feels like now you're taking a step to separate yourself and invest in things that you want to invest in. But it's like, once you got that confirmation, because you felt like there was somebody coming against you. Look at this. This is the Nine of Wands and the Page of Wands that clarified the Seven of Pentacles. Ooh, excuse me. So you got this feeling with the Seven of Wands that there were people coming against you, but you couldn't see their face. You were like, yeah, I know what's going on. Technically, you were on point, but you were blindfolded because you didn't have the details. So you sat there and you waited to see what was going on. This is about your career. This is about work, like coworkers who were trying to like start rumors about you, because we have that sipping card, nosy, spreading rumors and gossip. Somebody could have been gossiping about who you were dating, who you were talking to, and it doesn't even have to be a specific person. They could just look at you and judge you from how you appear. And they're like, oh, I wonder if Collective is dating this type of person or that type of person. Like, what's their type? All this type of stuff. What type of attention do they get? It kind of feels like that competitive comparison where somebody looks at you and sees you from an outward perspective, and they assume things about your life. And when they assume things about your life that may or may not be true, then they decide to take action or treat you in a way based off of those assumptions. And then it kind of gives like, because somebody felt threatened by you because of what they assumed due to your outer exterior, they reacted based off of feeling threatened, but it was all something that they created within themselves. And it's about you working, or whatever you do for work, your job, your business. This is 10 Wands, clarifying the Seven of Pentacles. I also feel like whatever somebody was doing to come at you, either spirit handled it and you really didn't have to do much, or you just refused to give up. You're exhausted, you're tired, but you refuse to give up in the situation. You may have even set a boundary with someone, and by you setting that boundary after realizing something was going on, showed you who was for you and who was against you. It confirmed what you didn't have proof of in the first place. It confirmed whatever this Two of Swords was that you thought was going on, you kind of suspected, but you didn't have proof of. And once you got that confirmation and it was received, look, once spirit protected you, Six of Cups, once you got that confirmation, that vision, that image, that premonition, and it was received, then you cut the cord, possibly around Scorpio season, maybe even before that. Or it could be a Scorpio, a Pisces, an Aquarius, a Leo, a Cancer. I said Libra earlier, as well as Aries. I feel like you guys have been trying to figure out how to get out of a situation or figure out your way through some type of like winding maze of a situation. Like the situation could be confusing. You could be tired and exhausted. You're trying to figure out what the right path is to take. The path opened up, and then you started to receive confirmation that things were changing. You could have even had a situation where you remember why you cut somebody off in the first place. Like, I don't know, maybe time went by. Maybe a lot of time went by to where you forgot why you cut somebody off, and then they pop back up. And maybe you didn't realize at first that you cut them off before or why you cut them off before, but then they did something that was reminiscent of why you cut them off. And then you were like, oh yeah, I remember why I kicked your ass to the motherfucking curb. That's kind of what it feels like. But I feel like your energy is of protecting yourself, setting a boundary because you know that somebody was not necessarily on your team. Yeah, 4 of Cups. So I feel like you rejected someone. We'll clarify that in a second. Y'all be sure to like the video, you guys. Hit the like button. I appreciate it. The World card. And the 5 of Swords, bitch. See, that's what I'm saying. You ended a cycle by rejecting someone and cutting them off in your best interest. The 5 of Swords is not necessarily bad in this deck, but I mean, depending on how you look at it, in every deck it's like that. The whole point is that you took your power back by rejecting someone because it feels like, my back, tense. It feels like there was someone here who was very superficial. Like I said, they were focused on lust. They were focused on greed. This could have been a friend that you had. Or something. This could be somebody who used to like rain on your parade. Like when something good was happening to you, they may come in and like see that you're happy. And it may not be on purpose, but they could just have a drama-filled, toxic life. And when good things are happening to you, their drama takes precedence over the good things that are happening to you. And it's kind of like they put this rain cloud over your life. What's the 4 of Cups? The Hierophant. Three of Cups. And the Justice card. Yeah. So if somebody rejected you, it worked out in your favor. It kind of feels like you wanted to be a part of a group, or you wanted to be friends with these people. You thought you were friends with these people. You thought you were cool with these people. You're never cool with your coworkers. I'm just going to listen. You're never cool with your coworkers. They are never going to be your friends because y'all are always going to be in competition no matter what position you're in. And I feel like somebody's lazy. They're selfish. They're lazy. They're in it for the wrong reasons. Greed, lust, all of that stuff. Their life is falling apart. Their life could be full of drama. It's like you never fit in. And that was actually a benefit to you. But now it's like your weirdness, your quirkiness, your eccentric qualities that are different from the crowd. They're different from the mob. They're different from the group. They're different from everybody else. That's starting to become what people desire. That's starting to become the attributes and the traits and the qualities that people, I guess I would say thrive on. I almost said thrive. That's the type of qualities that people are attracted to. So it's like if you, because the Hierophant is conventionality. The Hierophant is like a conventional marriage. The Hierophant reverse will be LGBTQ plus relationships. People who work in non-conventional jobs. They don't work a 9 to 5. They're entrepreneurs. Maybe the 9 to 5 is becoming the new entrepreneur, and then having a 9 to 5 is what's unconventional because everybody's an entrepreneur. Everybody got businesses. So maybe you got a 9 to 5 and everybody's talking about, oh, you got a 9 to 5. You ain't got no business. And they were trying to make you feel some way about having a regular job. But it's like, bitch, I got a regular job. I got insurance or whatever it is. I have security and you don't. Get out my face. Or vice versa, right? It's whatever in your life was considered to be conventional that you were not a part of, or like a conventional beauty, aesthetic, something like that. It's like whatever this group felt like was acceptable, whatever this group felt like was the norm, or socially acceptable in certain situations. It's like you receive justice by being rejected by these people. Because now that a cycle is over with, now that a particular time in the world is done and we're going through this change because we all see it, whatever authenticity that you have is going to be shown as like what people gravitate to. That's what I feel. Because not the ace, the star card reverse coming out with the moon for your energy, it kind of feels like it's like you fear being inauthentic, but you also could have had some type of fear surrounding being yourself because you were always judged for it or bullied for it, or you didn't have any friends because of it. Like even people who don't watch tarot or don't, follow astrology, things like that can be considered unconventional. It's like you were rejected by people in groups and scenarios where you were considered unconventional, but that was actually your justice. And now it's like, in a way, now, and I want to say this carefully because some of y'all hoes take this shit out of control. Now it's like you're getting some type of revenge or get back for being rejected in those situations. Because now whatever is conventional or whatever is considered the norm or whatever is considered the status quo is being challenged, right? We're challenging political figures. We're challenging, the party rules and all of these political things. We're challenging social norms. We're challenging all of these different things. People are starting to speak up about how, the way that we've been doing things isn't working and we need something different. And it's like, now that's your time to shine. I feel like also you could have felt hidden, like somebody was hiding you. But it's like all of those different things where it's like you didn't really fit in. Now it's coming full circle. So what's the energy around the collective? What's the energy around the collective, Spirit? The Hermit. So it could be a Virgo. The Lovers. And the Two of Swords. If you were wondering whether or not a decision that you made in the past rubbed somebody the wrong way or caused a conflict between you and someone else, I feel like it did. Because we saw the Two of Wands with the Five of Wands. We've seen the Two of Swords. I feel like you could have been in two minds about a situation, or, you weren't sure about a person, or you weren't sure if you could trust something or if something was real. But I feel like you went within and figured out whether or not your intuition was actually correct. Now, when it comes to the energy around you, it feels like somebody is like not really talking to you. They've chosen, yeah, and there's the Two of Cups. That's what I'm saying. It's like you've come to some type of agreement to not talk to someone. I feel like there's no bad blood between you and another person, but I also feel like you can feel what's going on underneath the surface. I kind of feel like this reading is highlighting people's emotions and thoughts that you've kind of psychically picked up on underneath the surface. And it's like the energy around you is of somebody who's hermiting or going within, or they're watching and observing you do this and they see you that way. But it's also like kind of this, it's like you're wondering possibly whether or not this person feels some type of way about a boundary that you set, or feels some type of way about a decision that you made that was for you. Like, do they think I'm selfish because I don't want to talk to them right now? Do they think that I'm mean because I decided to set a boundary? Do they feel some type of way because I said I don't want to discuss a particular subject? Are they upset that I don't want to go out with them or hang out with them or talk to them, you know, on a regular basis? Or are they mad at me for, you know, turning them down or saying no to something, right? And they'll tell you out of their mouth that they're not, but you sense that there's something bothering this person, and you feel like it's because of the boundary you set, whatever that boundary may be. And I think you're right. And that's the energy of somebody around you. What's the Hermit? Yep. Two of Swords in the World. And if you set a boundary with somebody, you rejected someone, you said no to something, whatever it is that you did for your own well-being, right? If you did that and you said, hey, you know, I just need some space. I just need some time. I need to figure my life out. There's things I need to get together that I just have to do on my own. Blase, blase, blah, right? This person knows that you're not telling them possibly the whole truth. Like, if you had a person in your life who you felt like was very dramatic, or their life was dramatic, or they caused you stress by proxy because just being around them and their life having drama and them going through crazy stuff was causing a problem for you, and you told them that you needed space, but you didn't tell them that it was because of them, they feel like you didn't necessarily tell the full truth. It's like on their end, receiving this rejection from you, so to speak, because it's not really rejection, you know, it's kind of like self-preservation. But them being on the receiving end of you setting a boundary is like, oh, collective is telling me that they need space to figure this out and to figure that out. But I know it's because I always talk to them about my drama and they don't want to hear it. They don't want to talk to me about it. So just like you're sensing that this person has hard feelings towards you for setting these boundaries, they also sense that it's because of whatever they got going on that you set the boundaries, and it may not just be because of whatever you said. Well, bitch, if the shoe fit, pop that sucker on. Because my thing is, folks know. And I think that's why the greed, lust, and the my life is falling apart came in reverse, because I think this person is finally realizing that they're starting to lose connections, or you know, maybe things in their life aren't going the way that they'd like them to go because of the way that they move. Yeah, Knight of Swords and the Four of Wands. Whoever's around you, they were hurt by what you said. You said something and it was very like harsh. Yeah, it cut really deep. But guess what? Guess what, bitch? Ace of Swords. It was the truth. Whatever you said was harsh. It cut really deep. It caused an ending. That's the Death card. But it was not a lie. It was the truth. It was whatever, it's whatever wasn't being said that is hurtful. It's whatever they read between the lines. It's like, read between the lines. Read between the lines. So they basically feel like it's a big fuck you to them, but they know you weren't lying. So they can't be mad at you. They're just hurt. Because the death card has a sword in it, which is not usual. So, you know, I don't know. It could be a Scorpio, a Virgo, a Taurus, an Aquarius, or a Leo. It's like you said something without saying something, and this person knows. And then the Four of Wands, it's like you're going to accomplish something, or you're going to end this relationship because you want to, you know, move on to bigger and better things, or move into a place in your life where things are more stable. I feel like somebody consistently feels rejected, or they're afraid of rejection. I don't know. That's not your problem, though. What's this star card reversed? What's the star reversed? The devil. Oh my God. That's why you feel like a situation wasn't going anywhere. It was just a toxic cycle. Eight of Cups. And the Seven of Wands. See what I'm saying? And the Death card is under that Eight of Cups again. Even if you were still attached to someone physically, like even if you had a roommate, you were still living with them, or, you know, you had a relationship and you were still cohabitating or co-parenting with somebody, whatever the situation is, even if you were still physically attached, you were not there mentally or emotionally. You had already checked out mentally and emotionally. And it's also a situation where you even created physical distance or physical space between you and another person. So you may have moved, you may have relocated. You may even, if you're in the same room with them, you go to the other side of the room. You don't want to fix it. You just want to move on. What's the advice for the collective? The Eight of Wands. So be mindful of your words. Be mindful of what you say, because there's somebody here who's reading a lot into what you say. Somebody may even be trying to confuse you with communication. We have the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Swords is out here. We just saw the Eight of Cups. Earlier, we saw the Eight of Pentacles. The Magician. Yeah. And the Fool card. It's like, yeah. And then the Five of Swords under the Magician. Hell no. And then the Death card again. With the Eight of Cups right after that. Mm-hmm. I feel like this could even be somebody who's trying to maybe like manipulate people against you, and say, you know, oh, collective did this to me, collective did that to me, you know, this is how the relationship went down, this is why we stopped talking, this is why I moved out. I feel like you could be dealing with things on the surface because of things that are going on behind the scenes. And then that goes back to that sipping card, gossip, rumors. Don't worry about that. I feel like whatever somebody is saying to manipulate you or to have some type of Control over the narrative in a situation is not your concern. I also feel like your spirit team is telling you that your words have power. Like the way that you communicate with other people, the way that you communicate with yourself, how you speak about your endeavors, how you speak about your success, your failures, whatever it is, because it's never really a failure. It's just a lesson. But that's the point. The way that you speak over your life is very significant right now. So your spirit team doesn't want you to secretly like sabotage yourself. Yeah, the 4 of Wands with the 8 of Wands. Be careful of who you bring into your home. 2 of Pentacles and the 6 of Swords. Yeah, like don't turn around to straighten up or clear up anything that's going on behind you. Cause what if, you see what I'm saying? We just saw the Fool card. Excuse me. And here's the 6 of Swords. And this person on the 6 of Swords is looking back. And it's like the balancing of the 2 of Pentacles. I feel like everything's going to get balanced out on its own. Because I kind of feel like somebody who you've left behind or kind of detached from in the past is, spinning the narrative as to why something transpired or how it transpired, and it's just not true. And I feel like your spirit team is basically saying, like, however they want to talk about your relationship or the connection that you had is on them. That doesn't have anything to do with you. Yeah, the King of Cups. The Emperor and the 9 of Pentacles. Uh-oh, here come the trash truck. It might be loud, y'all. This could also just be somebody saying something to you to get you to like be friends with them again, or to get you to come back towards them, or to get you to allow them to stay in your space or stay around you. The Devil, we have the 8 of Cups and the Page of Swords. I just wanted to get 2 more cards on that, or 1 more, but 2 came out. Yeah, it's like you found out somebody was toxic. This could have even been after you walked away from a person. It was confirmed to you that maybe somebody came and told you something that was going on, like spreading gossip, spreading rumors. Or some news traveled back to you about someone. This could also be a situation where someone is spreading rumors or gossip about you, and it's like because they were connected to you or because they knew you, they had this information, and it's like they're trying to possibly use the information to tell your business or something like that. I feel like you just live a very private life, or you're just the type of person who doesn't really like socialize with people the way that other people socialize. You don't tell your business like that. Yeah, 7 of Wands again and the 6 of Pentacles. Yeah. It's like even if you were still cool with somebody, it kind of feels like you parted on good terms, at least so you thought. But then afterwards, you found out that somebody was talking about you behind your back. And you're like, oh, but I thought we was cool. Kind of like, okay, I don't know if y'all know, but it's like sometimes when people who are in the public eye, so for example, like Mr. Beast, right? He's one of the most subscribed. He's like the top subscribed person on YouTube. Huge channel, huge platform. work the channel up. People either like him or they don't like him. And then sometimes they're cool with him until they're not around him anymore. And then when they're not around him anymore, then all of a sudden they don't like him. I don't know the man. I can't vouch for the man. I don't know his character or who he is. But that's the type of dynamic. It's kind of like when somebody was in good with you and when somebody was cool with you and when somebody was benefiting from you and attached to you, whether it's platonic, romantic, or professional, they didn't have anything bad to say. But then when they felt some type of way with you distancing yourself from them, or they felt some type of way with you setting a boundary, because it kind of feels like this is a person who doesn't have good self-control. They have anger issues, possibly. They have addiction issues, possibly. They could even be somebody who's very promiscuous. As soon as you removed yourself or you set a boundary or you kind of like set some rules in place, this person wasn't cool with you. Now all of a sudden you're this devil, you're this horrible person. And it's like now you, because of that getting back to you and you finding out what was going on and what they were saying about you behind your back or how they were speaking about you, it's like now, why would I even, like, there's no hope in any type of situation being healed between us. Kind of like, you know, you make your bed, you gotta lie in it, right? That's what it feels like. I also feel like some of you need to be aware that this person may reach out to you or try to communicate with you because they see that you're accomplishing some type of goal. Like it could be an ex that's found out, oh, now you're in a new relationship, or it could be an old friend from the past who realizes, oh, you know, now things are going well for you in your life. I want to reach out and say, how are you? How have you been? All this type of stuff. And Spirit is warning you to be mindful of what they say because they're not telling you everything. There's still details that they're omitting, or there's still things that they won't own up to or take accountability for. And it could cause confusion in your mind. You could get swept up in the confusion of this communication. Your advice is to be mindful of the communication, what you tell other people about your business, what you believe when they talk to you, how much time and energy you allow for them to have when it comes to your life, and how they make you feel about yourself, which can dictate how you speak to yourself and how you speak over your life, because you don't want somebody to come in and say something to you that makes you question yourself, and then you start speaking negatively over your life when all these good things are happening. Because I feel like there are people who are gossiping about the different things that you're doing that are beginning to take off. Like, oh, collective, they done got their lucky break. No, bitch. Collective worked hard for what they have. Thank you. Maybe you should get your... Let me... Okay. Check yourself. If you've checked yourself and the check has come back positive, that bitch didn't bounce, then you good. They just want to make sure you keep yourself in check. You can't control nobody else. All you can do is control yourself. In their fields at the bottom, falling apart, falling into pieces. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, snap. I can't even pick it up. Y'all hit the like button. What is this? You see what I'm saying? Somebody's life is falling apart and somebody else's life is not falling apart. And the crazy part is, even if you feel like your life is falling apart, even if you feel like things are kind of haywire right now for you, I'm telling you, it's not as bad as what somebody else got going on. And I'm not saying like, oh, it could always be worse. Of course, people say that all the time. But I really feel like this is an energy of like you thinking that things are bad and you being like, oh my God, I want to do better. I want to, I want to improve. I want to be the best version of myself. It's like you're doing this inner reflection, checking yourself like, okay, I want to be a better person. I want to have a better life. I want to do the work that it takes for my reality to improve. And it's like constructive action that you're taking. And you think that things are bad. But in reality, Spirit is like, no. Collective, y'all are doing a good thing, or y'all are doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're in alignment. You're on the right path. Everything is balancing out. You think your life is falling apart, but it's like Spirit is like, no, you're actually good. Somebody else's life is falling. If you really want to know what falling apart is, they're giving you a piece of this information now into this person's situation, looking at you and feeling like you got it all together. Because they know that their life is so much more full of drama, or they know that their life is, so much more chaotic. And that's why you need to be careful, because it's like, hey, you don't want this person's energy to rub off on you. Not at all. Somebody's in their feelings, though. What else? For the collective, Spirit, kick to the curb. That came out reverse. Kick to the curb. Interesting. Insecure. And in their feels. What is this? What is this? Check yourself. Kick to the curb. Reverse. Ace of Wands and the Tower. Yeah, somebody's... It's like all of a sudden they had this bright idea that they were going to come in and try to destroy something that you have. I also feel like because you're doing that constructive, proactive work on yourself, like healing and, self-improvement, I feel like the places or the things that you felt rejected by, or the things that you felt like you couldn't have because you reframed the way you spoke about it, or reframed the way you spoke about yourself, all of a sudden something is changing. 9 of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. See? There's an opportunity that you guys have coming in that it's like you worked for it yourself. This is all because of the work that you've done. This is all because of the investment with this 7 of Pentacles that you've made. I feel like you had to do this by yourself, or you had to kind of like be independent, be on your own when this came in, because Spirit wanted to make sure that there was nobody around who could destroy it. There was nobody around to take credit for it. There was nobody around to destroy it. There was nobody around to talk you out of it. There was nobody around to convince you or manipulate you into thinking you didn't deserve it. That's why the opportunity is coming in now. I feel like there's a financial increase too. It's like somebody didn't want you to be successful. Or like they knew that if they were no longer in the picture, they were insecure, because they knew that once you kicked them to the curb, once you broke up with them, once you moved out, once you divorced them, once you removed them from your life, there was nothing that they really could do to get back in. And then there was also going back to like the quality of your work. It's like they knew that you were the brains behind the operation. That's basically what that boils down to. Somebody knew that you were the brains behind the operation. You may have had fake friends that only wanted to invite you out for nefarious reasons because it would benefit them in getting the attention that they wanted, right? Like there's a lot of girls who are going around now on social media, Instagram, things like that, TikTok. And they're like, oh, when you find out you're the ugly friend or something like that, and you got a bunch of girls around you who only invite you places because This is not how I feel. This is just how it comes off. So don't get offended. But if pretty girls hang out with maybe one or two ugly girls, quote unquote, right? Like the Hierophant, stereotypical beauty, the status quo that we talked about. They by design, by the ratio, appear more attractive because they drag around this girl that they feel like is ugly or conventionally unattractive. So therefore, it increases their ability to get more attention. It makes them stand out. It could be the opposite, where somebody who's not necessarily as attractive conventionally may see you as a conventionally attractive person and want to be friends with you, because when they're around you as a conventionally attractive person, whether that's your demeanor or not, you attract more options towards them, because if you're not around, they wouldn't be able to get those options. And there's somebody who's insecure. I'm not talking about people who know their worth. I'm not talking about people who are, compassionate and loving and empathetic. I'm talking about shallow people who are, friends with people for the wrong reasons, working in careers for the wrong reasons. Whoever this is, did everything they did for the wrong reason. They wanted to be your friend for the wrong reason. They wanted to work with you for the wrong reason. They wanted to hang out with you or date you for the wrong reason. And it was because of something very shallow in that way. For money. People do it for money. And here goes the Three of Pentacles and the King of Wands. Because you had something that they wanted, or you had access to something that they wanted. I feel like there's also somebody who's showing people your work, or you've shown that you can work on something, or you've shown that you have a higher level of ability when it comes to something. Like you're actually meant to be in this position. You're not in it for the wrong reason, and your work is blowing up or it's taking off. Even after somebody may have tried their hardest to destroy it or destroy your reputation. Strength and the Knight of Cups. Yeah, there's an opportunity that's about to come to you suddenly, because you're actually meant to be in the position that you're in, or something is actually meant to come to you. But again, kick to the curb in the reverse. I remember earlier I said, you may come back around someone and you realize why you kicked them to the curb in the first place. You realize why you set a boundary with them in the first place, or cut them off in the first place. I feel like Spirit is trying to protect you against someone who may be trying to creep back in, who does not belong, and basically who you don't need to allow to attach you, because you don't want your life to fall apart as a result of the energy that they bring to the situation. Okay, let's see, what's the advice? Breakthrough 26. So some of you guys could be having a breakthrough specifically about this situation, what's happened, why it happened, how it happened, what was going on behind the scenes that you didn't have proof of, but that you could feel. I feel like, still waters run deep. That's what it is. What's been going on underneath the surface and what you have not been able to see is going to be made clear. Look, and it's because you released a situation, or you've been released from something, or you healed, or you let something go. Love surrounds you, though. I feel like you guys are going to realize how much you're loved and how much people actually care about you and appreciate you. regardless of how you may have been made to feel in the past. All of that was not true. So I hope that helped you guys. My son Bus is coming. Y'all be sure to like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe. Donate if you can, you guys. It's really helpful. PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle below. Also, if you want to book your reading, that is below as well. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.